We are back on MorningLine. I was just telling our guest this morning, Dr. Richard Tarpey from MTSU, as we're talking about the supply chain, the employee situation, customers not treating folks with respect, and how it can hurt the economy. My son works at a fast food restaurant to make some money while he's at the University of Tennessee, and he's got a great employer, and he likes the way it's set up. You know, it's a job, and he gets free food. But he said, look, you know, we have these customers that come through. The restaurant right now is still just drive-through and closed, and when they come and start yelling, it's kind of like, they just pull down the shade and say, go away.
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's your call. And the employer backs them 100%. Right. Because the attitude is you don't have to put up with that crap. You're not getting paid enough to put up with that crap. And that's exactly what it is.
But that's probably the anomaly. Most fast food restaurants and retail stores don't close up necessarily just because they have irate customers. So that particular Taco Bell is a great example of what could be done.
Yeah.
It's just not probably common throughout the industry.
No, and it may vary, but I mean, they do well, and they do great business, and that's part of it. And they treat everyone with respect. It's just they follow the guidelines. And if someone's upset about it, they basically just say, we're sorry, this is the way it is. Right. Play by our rules, or, you know, we can't give you the food. That's how it is. And he treats everyone with respect, and he says he has not had problems with people mistreating him. They get frustrated when they can't come in or get what they want. Right. But I think they figured out, again, it's college students. You know,
they've got the advantage, so they're on campus, right?
Yeah,
so
it's right off campus, I think, where this one is. And, but yeah, it's mostly college students.
Yeah, it's a little different if you're in a Taco Bell in an urban area.
Sure, exactly. It varies from place to place.
Sure.
Let's go next to Norma. Norma, good morning. Hi, Norma.
Hi, Nick. This is, I watch you all the time. I'm the one from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, hi, Norma. Wow, it's good to hear from you.
I watch you all the time, but I understand what you're saying because I worked from Tulsa, Oklahoma, 16 years in the deli department in Tulsa, and them people would get so impatient. So I can imagine what it is now since this COVID comes. But I just wanted to tell you, you do a good job, and it's not a day go by that I watch you, and y'all do a good job. And I just wanted to say hello. And I really do like you.
Hey, thank you so much for It's cool having people watching all the way in Oklahoma.
Else,
I mean, it must be, you know, online when we post the show after the fact. But I appreciate her calling in. Now, she's no longer working at something like this, but she said it was rough back then in the day, and she's right. I mean, if we ever can you think of a time we've seen in our lifetime anyway where it's been quite as bad as it is right now for employees and employers?
I don't think so. It's always.
I mean, not by a recession, but more like, or a depression. I mean more like in the way they're being treated.
It's been localized, though.
Okay.
So, again, around the holidays, we've always heard of stories of people being treated poorly during the holidays. If you can think far enough back, I can, in the 70s with the gas crisis, right? You went to the gas station, you couldn't get gas. Yeah. There were all kinds of stories about fights in the gas lines. I think the difference with the pandemic and today's situation is it's not localized to gas. It's not localized to just gifts for Christmas. It's everything. It's restaurants. It's going to get gifts. It's going to just get food at the local grocery store. Ordering stuff. I mean, it's across everything. I think the difference now is that it's widespread and it impacts everybody versus just small segments of people. Let's go next to Drew. Drew, good morning. Hi, Drew.
Yeah, hi, Nick.
Hey, what's on your mind?
I have a couple comments.
Okay.
First, we start off with employers not wanting to pay people a living wage to begin with.
Okay.
And then we have COVID hit, and never mind the fact that we got the vaccines out there. The employees are still going to have to roll the dice with their lives with breakthrough cases. They're probably thinking, why risk your life for such crappy wages? Information.
Sure. I mean, that's part of it, I guess. I mean, I guess we didn't touch too much on it, but we know for a fact that some of these establishments now, if they're going to want to have staff, they're going to have to raise what they pay. Right. You made the example earlier how maybe some places they could leave and go maybe to Amazon and make more. Right. And then if they want to compete, they're going to have to put it. And then ultimately, I mean, those costs get passed on to the consumer, I assume. But they're going to have to just pay more. And we have seen an escalation of pay for fast food restaurants. Yeah. Other places as well, right? Yeah, even up through Walmart. Walmart's pushing toward $15 an hour for all their employees as a minimum. The challenge is, of course, industries have spent years and years and years becoming as efficient as possible. Right, taking as much cost out of the operations and the supply chain as possible. Well, that being in labor management at both
healthcare and airlines in my history, that necessitates doing more work with less people as much as possible. Get as much productivity out of people as you can. The more productive people are, the less people you need. So I think we've gotten to the point where most companies are running as lean as they possibly can to take cost out. So that when one employee gets sick, you're now understaffed, right? You don't have someone else to fill in. And then on the flip side of that, how much you pay your employees. Fast food's not a high margin industry, obviously.
Right.
So if I'm going to pay my employees $15 an hour, I'm going to make less profit. That's going to be a problem. So as you indicated, I'm going to raise prices. Well, now if I'm going to pay $12 for a hamburger, you're going to lose customers, right? So it's a vicious circle. How much can you afford to pay by raising your prices that people will accept, right? So it's simple supply and demand that we've been talking about for 50 years.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see if it changes some with time. A big thing will be when this COVID pandemic finally does pass, whenever that'll be. We're riding a roller coaster still on that. But let's go to James. James, good morning. Hi, James.
Hey, I've been down that boat ride myself, brother. I've had some poor service, and I've been on multiple companies from every aspect of it that you can ever imagine. I was a poor kid. I worked all my life. I finally got to where I own a business, and now if you start screaming at me while I'm working for you, I'm charging you a hazard pay for that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stand there and listen to it. I will charge you extra.
Yeah. Well,
like
good
that.
for you. I mean, now you're able to do that. And keep in mind, we can say this, and you're the business owner, so you can do that. But others, if you do that too much, you ultimately could lose business, and you may not be able to stay open. You know what I'm saying? You obviously can do that, but not everyone can.
Right.
That's the problem. That's
I agree.
Yeah, that's what bothers me, James, is that in some situations here, there are these folks that need the job so badly, or the employer, doesn't want to shut up the store, that they have to put up with this crap, and that's what it is, crap.
Right.
There is no excuse for it.
Right. Which, in that case, the key, again, we go back to, does the manager or the company supply the support for those employees, right? So they know they're going to get yelled at. So do I have a support mechanism to help those employees? Do I even take the employee's side? You indicated earlier that times of customers always right, that's over, right? So if a customer comes in and yells, 10 years ago, typically the manager would do something for the customer. Right. What can I do to make this right? All right. Can I give you a coupon? Can I pay for your
Even
meal?
if the customer is being irrational, but
and wrong.
Let's just deal with it. And wrong. Maybe not punish the employee for whatever reason if he did nothing wrong, but do something nice for the customer.
Sure. And then
even if they're dead wrong.
Absolutely. And then I think the biggest thing is there have to be consequences. So for the woman who had the gun, for the two women up in New York who couldn't get a table because of a vaccine. I forgot that story exactly. I think it was one of their friends, and they ended up punching the hostess. There has to be consequences. So that means people have to be arrested. That's assault, right? We have to prosecute those people. Even if we're not going to put them in jail. We don't have enough room in our jails. Right. But there's got to be some kind of fine. There has to be some consequences so people see that and say, hey, that's not something I should do. Right,
or you see it in sporting events when they can zero in on it. And we've already seen after that debacle at the end of the UT game this past weekend that they've got video cameras everywhere. And they're slowly but surely tracking down folks who threw items onto the field, especially dangerous items. And among other things, you can charge them, you can ban them from UT games for the rest of, and I think personally UT is going to be getting good again with this new coach. Tickets will become hot again, and you ain't coming to the game anymore because you're an idiot who threw a golf ball at Lane Kiffin. We'll take a break. We've got our final segment, getting into the economy and the big picture of this as well. And we can take a few more phone calls right after this.